Val. Get him. Get him, Val. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Taking it out nicely. Good job, Val. You gonna swing? Why are you running away, Val? Val, help me. Val, no. Val, come back. Oh, God. I'm going to try to do this all in one go. Let's talk about spears, shall we? Spears, when you come to think of it, whenever I do anyway, I think of like the Dissector or the Dragon's Fang, things that you've literally never used in the entire game. Not once. Don't lie to me. You definitely have never used these weapons. But I forget that the Atomic Light Expander, the Ear Splitter, and the Sir Lancelot are key components within this game, and in fact are all spears, and they're really strong weapons. And that brings us, of course, to the Nightfall. The Nightfall is the new spear, and there's a lot to talk about here, but I'm going to try to make it clear and concise. So let's get the important part out of the way. Let's talk about the perks. The perks of the weapon are a little interesting here because there's a few things that you can do within the game that give you up to 257% extra bonus damage plus 5.5% of your current health. Almost, not at all times, but like in perfect conditions, which is absurd. So let's talk about the 5th and 6th perks, then we'll talk about why attack speed's on here, and then we'll talk about the one huge negative about this weapon. So most spears in this game are a poking style of spear, like legit poke, poke, poke. However, this is a different kind. This is a large, sweeping, large AoE, cone, heavy attack, hard-hitting, super high impact spear, which means that you're going to be hitting multiple enemies all at once, which also means that you're going to be doing a lot of damage with each swing. So we're trying to maximize that effect. The perks on the weapon, specifically the 5th and 6th perk, are where things get interesting. The 6th perk is hitting an enemy 4 times with this weapon reduces your current health by 8%, very similar to the shotgun we just covered. However, I believe the high-end scaling is slightly higher. Based on the percentage of your missing health in a 0.5 tile radius can occur every 4 seconds. With that being said, these numbers scale off your modifiers, as you guys know. What they hit for on average within my level in a full team is anywhere from like 280,000 to like 400,000. It's a ton of AoE damage, which really works well for a weapon like this because you're going to be in the fray with a bunch of enemies and basically blowing them up. The other roles we have here are critical rating and critical damage. This is important for most builds. You could run it double damage if you want to, because we're going to talk about that in just a second. But currently, crit rating, crit damage is what I have on it because of the build that we're running. It has Corrosive Strike, so we're going to need some sort of crit rating to rock out with it. Attack speed. This is where things get a little weird, but let me explain this perk first. The 5th perk in this is adds up to 80% bonus damage based on percentage of your missing health. Between these perks that you could bring, I feel like this is the best one. Maybe if you do a triple damage spear, but currently I'm the kind of player who's looking for any new angle that I can get, and this new 5th perk I'm really enjoying. Like I said, you can get up to 257% extra damage, bonus damage in perfect conditions. This really works well with a lot of the game's perks that you currently have. Now, I want you to think of this like Paleo Luna. There is an argument, just like the shotgun, that maybe putting attack speed and impact and everything else on the weapon and using this 80% bonus damage plus the explosion as your main damage source might be a thing. It could be, but currently we're sitting somewhere in the middle, which is where the attack speed comes in. We're trying to do this perk and this perk as much as we humanly possibly can. So that is why we have attack speed here and not another crit damage. The huge negative about this weapon, of course, is that it can only run physical and fire. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've never used Deadly Lotus Luna in my entire life. Most people probably haven't. But she has a couple of things here that work really well with a spear like this. So her perk is increases spear damage by 50%, plus another 18.5 weapon damage over 3 seconds. That's a ton of bonus damage. Combined on another part of this build, you're looking at 100% bonus damage, almost at all times. We're going to be bringing bioenergy source here. This will, you can change this, but this is a nice mixture of survivability plus damage because you're trying to keep your health low, and this gives you more shield. It's a nice mixture of utility with some bonus stuff that keeps you alive, so you can use your extra damage from the 5th perk. Battle Beat, giving us 50% more damage, so we're at 118.5% at 3 seconds, plus 32% attack speed. Once this kicks in, you're going to be hitting very, very hard. We have Assassination here for another 22.5% damage after 5 attacks, and Corrosive Strikes, another 37% damage on crits. That is why we have crit on the weapon, and don't worry, I tested it out. Poking Holes afflicts them when you do not crit. If you do crit, Poking Holes goes away and Corrosive Strike takes over. Since it's such a hard-hitting weapon, Corrosive Strikes is a monster here, hitting for around 90 to 110,000 damage per tick. Then the weird stuff comes in. Survivalist. Why would you have Survivalist if you're trying to keep your health low? Well, because you don't want to die. There's a constant game of keeping your health low enough to do extra damage, but not being in the threshold, being one shot. That is your sweet spot, and that's what you're trying to hit. So sometimes you get below that and you need to heal up a little bit. Bioenergy Source, though, will keep you alive, and you can always use your stars on a 6-second cooldown or your kick on a 15-second cooldown to give you a nice chunk of shield. Saurian Claws here, the reason this is in the build is because there's nothing really else worth taking for damage. Not everything works with spears. There's only a couple of perks that work with spears. Pointed Fury and Poking Holes, I think, are the two. You could bring Pointed Fury here for heavy attack efficiency, because the heavy attack on this weapon is quite good, but we're just trying to get some extra damage in for this video, so we have Saurian Claws. Feel free to change anything here. The other build I want to talk about real quick is a Blast from the Past build. The reason this works is because Blast from the Past and the new damage perks, the 80% damage perk, actually work really well with each other. If you have a lot of health on max level, you're usually looking at 140,000 damage per swing guaranteed around there, plus the 40,000 damage from the weapon itself, so 180,000 damage per swing, not including crits, as long as you're at full health. Now, if you lose your health or start losing your health, once you get to around the halfway point, you're going to lose a lot of your bonus damage from Saurian Claws. However, because of the weapon itself, you're going to start doing the extra 80% damage from the 5th perk. So as long as it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. There's actually a lot of synergy between Blast from the Past and the new 5th perk. You can run you don't have to min-max. It takes away the min-max and the mini game you have to play about worrying about your health. That's where this build kind of comes in. You have full health, you're doing bonus damage through Saurian Claws. You have low health, you're doing bonus damage through the 5th perk on these black metal weapons. Either way, you're good. You bring coconuts, you can heal up, you can sit somewhere in the middle. It's up to you. The build does have a lot of synergy, and it was a lot of fun to play. Here's a group of enemies. As watch how fast this clears it. So we're at 102,000 health. We're gonna group up these enemies here. And we're gonna give it a go. 124 these guys are at, and it's an insanely strong AoE clearing weapon. And you saw we just hit for 214,000. We just got Battle Beat activated, and we hit for 303,000. The Corrosive Strike hit for 113k. I believe that's what it just said. So that's an insane amount of damage. I believe we technically one-shot that blaster. Let's see if we can do it again here with this grouping of enemies. We're going to group them up once more, and we're going to give it a shot. Now, all of these black metal sets with that AoE explosion perk, I would think you'd consider them AoE weapons. Not necessarily AoE weapons, but they're close. Give it one swing. We're gonna get Battle Beat, and then we're gonna try to get Battle Beat up online, and then we're gonna go and attempt to kill the blaster here. Here we go. I didn't see what I hit for. 335,000 damage. Ticks for 21. Actually, I think the explosion hit for 335,000 damage. I think it did. Let's see what else we can find. I'm just letting them build up a little bit, the enemies, and then we'll go for it. All right, we should be good here. I hope I don't die. One swing, two swings. We have Battle Beat, so if we can get a crit. 284,000, basically a one hit after the affliction ticks. And our health is constantly healing because of Survivalist. It makes a very nice build. And I don't mean nice as in like it's nice. I mean like it's very complementary. Is that the correct word? That might be the correct word. It's a very nice build when you put everything together. Constantly healing. You have bioenergy source to keep your shield up, so you can keep your health lower. You're doing crazy AoE damage on physical targets. You're hitting for 380 a swing if on a crit in settings that you can see aren't that difficult to keep up the maximum settings. The heavy attack on the weapon hits very, very hard, and it's a great AoE clearing tool. During the defense phase, I think it really exemplifies what I mean by how the build works so well together. I've stayed out here the entire time so far, so a minute and a half already, and just absolutely decimating these enemies. I heal up because of bioenergy source. I get my shield back up. Because of Survivalist, I'm keeping my health at a decently low amount, slowly healing occasionally. It's just a very nice grouping of abilities with the weapon damage. If this was a physical wave, we'd be in heaven. Sadly, it's not. It is a fire wave that we have to take care of. But you can see when we occasionally do get a physical enemy or a blaster, we're basically one-shotting them, almost guaranteed. 300k, 260,000, 240,000. The AoE blast just kills everything. If you get really caught up, you can just heavy attack. 271,000, he's dead. You don't even have to worry about him. He's completely done. And there you go, guys. The black metal spear. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. I really do enjoy it. It has a cool, unique perk that I'm still toying with, but this is what I found that works so far, and it works really well. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, I have a ton of guides and a bunch of stuff that can help you. Feel free to click around or subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you're looking for any way to support the channel, you can always use creator code OOTikTak00. And lastly, we're live right now, right this second. We're live over at twitch.tv/ROundedtiktak. If you want one of these spears or shotguns, come by and I'll give you one. No big deal whatsoever. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Tic Tac out.